Have you ever noticed the moment you start to chase something real, something bold, something that actually matters, you begin to feel pressure? And not eventual pressure, immediate pressure. Fear shows up, doubt gets louder, people start to question you, and then your own inner voice starts whispering, "Who do you think you are? You're not ready. Someone else is already doing it. You're a fraud and they're going to see right through you." That's not failure, that's resistance. And the truth that most people do not hear soon enough is that resistance isn't a sign you're off track. It's a sign you're finally on it. Resistance isn't a red light, but a green light. Let's start with the story of Serena. Serena had a fire inside of her to speak, to write. She wanted to build a business that helped 40-year-old women rebuild their confidence after trauma. But every time she sat down to record, her throat tightened. She'd rehearse over and over again in front of the mirror, but when it came down to actually hitting publish, she'd freeze. "I'm not ready. This isn't good enough. I need more time." Sound familiar? See, Serena wasn't unqualified, she was becoming. And that uncomfortable tightness in her chest, that was the resistance talking. Fear, insecurity, impostor syndrome, that's the first resistance we meet. Internal resistance. But consider this. You don't get imposter syndrome when you're playing small. You get it when you're stepping into something that is bigger than what you've been. So if you're feeling fear, congratulations, because it just might mean that you're beginning to stretch. And you're not out of alignment, you're just moving out of your comfort zone. Growth doesn't feel good at first. It feels uncertain, wobbly. But like breaking in a new pair of shoes, discomfort means you're expanding into the new version of yourself. And that discomfort isn't rejection, it's proof of development. You're not unworthy, you're emerging. So the first type of resistance we encounter is the internal resistance. But after you encounter the internal resistance, we begin to encounter external resistance. All right, I got the internal noise down. But hold up, here come the outside voices. "You're not like you used to be. That's risky. Is this really going to work for you? Why are you posting so much online now? Hey, don't you think you're taking this too far?" And the thing that we have to remember is that many won't understand our dreams. And here's the thing, some will doubt it, some will criticize you, not because you're wrong, but because your growth threatens their comfort. And the more you rise, the more resistance begins to change form. Distractions, setbacks, financial pressure. You begin to encounter moments where quitting seems easier and maybe even smarter. But here's the thing that I want to say about the outside voices. No one criticizes someone who's doing nothing. That type of resistance only comes when you're moving towards something. The enemy doesn't fight people who aren't a threat. Why would he do that? So if you're feeling opposition, maybe it's not because you're failing, maybe it's because your presence is starting to disturb something that needed to be disturbed. So don't run from it, lean into it. So take a moment to consider, what part of you is afraid of being seen? What dreams are you still keeping small to avoid criticism? Who are you trying to not outgrow? Be honest. Because resistance isn't just the fear of failure. It's often the fear of abandoning who we used to be. But you're not betraying your past self by developing. You're honoring them by becoming. Resistance is often considered a negative thing, but I want to challenge you to begin to reframe it. What if we call discomfort stretching? What if we acknowledge that uncertainty means that there's movement? And one of the things that I had to learn is you're not supposed to feel 100% confident when stepping into a new territory. If you did, it wouldn't be new. The path to your calling, it won't always be clear, but that doesn't make it wrong. And the trap that many fall into is they confuse the unfamiliar with being misaligned with their purpose. Reason being, most of us were taught to chase comfort and not calling. But your calling will cost you comfort. And your resistance is not the enemy, it's the evidence. And so what we end up encountering is a war between our old identity and our new self. We're caught in between. The greatest resistance doesn't come from others, it actually comes from you. From the part of you that's used to being overlooked. The part of you that's used to staying small, playing busy, staying tired, staying needed, but never free. That version of you doesn't die quietly. And what happens is every time you take a step forward in confidence, the old self fights back. But the fact that you're caught in that tension is a good thing, because it means that the old version of you is beginning to lose. And all you have to do is keep going. And I want you to remember that you do not owe loyalty to the version of you that remains small to make others comfortable. Like Eric Thomas says, you owe you. You owe it to your future. You owe it to your mission in life and your purpose for being here. So how do you keep going when that resistance shows up? Here's a simple 4-step framework. Number 1, recognize. Name what you're feeling. Call it out and put it in its place. Fear, fatigue, judgment. Get specific. And the reason I say call it out is resistance likes to hide in vagueness. Number 2, reframe. Say it out loud. This is not rejection. This is proof that I'm in motion. Number 3, respond. Do one thing that keeps you in alignment. Publish the post, make the call, show up even if your feelings are out of whack. Number 4, rise. Stack small wins, knowing that every step forward is a strike against the old you. Keep rising even if it's messy, even if it's slow. I heard about a mountain climber that set out to summit one of the tallest peaks in the world. The thing that we don't often consider about climbing that high is there's a point where the wind is starting to fight against you. The air gets thin and every step feels heavier than the last. So when he reached that point, everything in his body began to say, hey dog, turn back. What are you trying to do? This is too much. You are not that strong. This wind is disrespectful. Turn back. And just as the climber was about to turn back, he remembered something his guide had told him when they started. The wind is calm at the bottom because nothing is trying to stop you from staying there. He continued to tell the climber, the higher you go, the more the mountain will test you. And if the air gets thin, the wind starts howling, that's how you know you're close to the top. The climber leaned forward, planted his pick, and kept going. Shaky step after shaky step, burning breath after burning breath. And when he finally stood at the summit, he realized the fight wasn't proof that he was failing. It was proof that he was almost there. So if the wind is howling in your life right now, good. If it feels uncomfortable, good. Your voice is shaking a little bit, good. Friends are starting to misunderstand you, good. The old you is screaming for you to shrink, good. Your hands are trembling while you take your next step, good. Because the dream is supposed to stretch you. The vision is supposed to shake you. Because becoming who you were meant to be requires leaving who you used to be. And I've created this video to tell you, don't you quit just because it's hard. Let the resistance you feel confirm that you're in the right fight. You're not broken, you're being built. You're not behind, you're in the process. You're not lost, you're rising. So breathe, dig deep, and take the next step, one brave moment at a time. Because in the next video, I'll show you how to build momentum even when the dream feels far away. You're not alone, you're on the right path, and resistance is just the sound of your breakthrough getting closer. Stay in the fight. And always remember that growth is a journey, it's not a destination. I'm in it with you. I'll see you on the next one.